I forgot to add myself to the stage. Welcome to Kollecting Kaos. My name is James, and this is Wednesday Night Chaos. First episode. Well, not really. It's just a continuation of my coffee with chaos without the coffee. I figure at my age, I probably shouldn't be drinking as much coffee as I do. So I decided to change the name. I want to go ahead and get started with what I'm doing here. I'm going to show the magazines that I pressed, and then I'm going to show the comics that I pressed, and then I'm going to pick up some other stuff. Lawston, glad you stopped in. Yeah, I figure 72. I don't need to drink 4 or 5 cups of coffee a day. So I'm just drinking 2 in the morning, and that's it. And it's not as hard as I thought it was going to be. I've got the first 4 wraps of 4-color 49. I've got them. I've got them with the furnish in them, and they're dry. And I'll probably show those Friday, maybe. I don't know yet. So yeah, that's where I'm sitting at on that. I've been thinking about the best way to do future conservation projects. And I think the most important thing that I've been forgetting, whether it's a really bad comic that needs a press to make it look better, or whether it's a conservation project, I need to start taking pictures. The guy that owns a comic shop down where I go has told me he needs pictures. He needs pictures before and after so he can show people what I can do. Maybe I can get some business rolling that way. Something I never really thought much about, doing it for other people for money, but maybe I should. Just keeping the important thing is keeping in mind what I know I can do and what I think I can do. It's always better to work with what you know you can do. So let's go ahead and take a look at these magazines and see what I've got. I don't have the camera angled properly, so I might have to do a little adjustment. Oh. Yeah, I just need to raise it up some. Maybe a little more. Yeah. This is Savage Tales number 6. I do believe that's Neil Adams. Sure looks like his artwork. Matter of fact, I'm sure it's Neil Adams. Michael, glad you could stop in. And we've got number 7. And that looks like Boris Vallejo. Yeah, there's his name right there. And Savage Tales number 8. Can't read the first name. Last name's Fabian. And we've got number 9 here. Mike Kaluta. Next, another Boris cover. This is number 10. All right, but he used to spell his name with a PH, I think. That would explain why I couldn't read it. And apparently I either don't have number 11 or I don't know where it is. Because we're switching to Doc Savage, number 2. Ken Barr artwork. And for those people that are watching this later on, let's switch to the comics. Yep. This is Laser and Press Button 3D, number 1. Gary Leach. I think Gary Leach did the covers on all of these. I might have to turn on my... let's see. Issue number 1, PC, Wild Animals. Scott Shaw. Got a Ray Durgo cover here that I'm sure you're going to like. The Jetsons. I'm going to turn on that other light. That diffuses it a little bit. Yeah, Laser Eraser and Press Button. It's a pretty good comic. Really good artwork. Glad you could stop in just here browsing. Always happy to see you. There's a Stan Goldberg Betty. It's a pretty good cover by him. George Wilson, Grimm's Ghost Stories. This next cover is by Sam Savitt. It's from 1960. It's Hi-Yo Silver. And it's from 1960, number 35. Of course, Silver was the Lone Ranger's horse. I don't think George Wilson ever painted a bad cover. Next up, Gene Colan, Number 51, Tomb of Dracula. Why do I have that number as number 26? I have no idea. It's got Blade and Dracula in there. George Wilson and Louis Dominguez also, I don't think ever did a bad cover. TV Casper and Company. Number 26. That's where the 26 came from. And I'm all messed up. Hawkman number 25. Got a Pence stamp on there. Evangeline. I think this was the Evangeline special. Nope. This is the one by Comico. Judith Hunt artwork, and it's number 2. Yeah, I do too. I don't have a problem with those at all. I never have. Cerebus 87. And from 1950, this is Classics Illustrated number 68, Henry Kiefer artwork. This is a first print. The more art I see by Henry Kiefer, the more I like him. Vampirilla Lives, number 1. It had some minor stress marks on the spine that are gone now. It was time for me to drink some tea. Yeah, I'm still blown away by that Swamp Thing I got that they said was a 7.5. I examined it real closely. Now I looked up the comment, the grader's notes, and it had 2 notes. It said that there was a light crease on the back cover at the bottom, and then the light crease in the center. Well, I couldn't find the one in the center, and they were both on the back cover. I couldn't find the one in the center. I found what they said was a light crease on the back bottom, but you know, it looks like a printer's mark, like because it's not a crease at all. It doesn't show any signs of ever being creased. It looks more like a crinoline. Yeah, I did some lamination on those. That way I can reuse them over and over and over again. like I said, it looks like a light crease, and even if they had been regular creasing, they're so light you can barely see them. How did it not get a 9.0? How did they give it a 7.5? The one crease I haven't been able to find at all, and I was using my my digital microscope and couldn't find another crease in it. So, and the other one, like I said, looked at it on the digital microscope, and it is not a crease. It is. It looks like a printing defect. I would have graded it a 9.0, but what do I know? You know, I've only been grading comics since the 70s. Interesting thing about that, before I ever saw an Overstreet, and before they had the grading notes or the grading scale they had at the time, we used words like pristine for a pretty much perfect copy. And then we'd use, for a really bad copy, we'd say it was roached, which is like poor or poor or less. Then we'd have nice, we say something was a nice copy, which is about equivalent to very good to fine. And what was the other words we used? We had a couple of other words we used, and I'm sure those were local terms that we used, and there were other terms throughout the country that they used. But we didn't use the scale like they do today. And basically, we used, when Overstreet first came out, it was basically mint, fine, very good, good, and poor. That was pretty much all they had. I mean, I could pull my early copy down and take a look at it, but I'm pretty sure that's what we had back then. So, it's interesting how a lot of the terms that we used locally never made it into the okay, now I got to look it up. I don't have a first issue anymore. I have the reprint. Mint, fine, very good, good, fair, and poor. And this is the reprint that they did later on. The first one I had was blue. Many, many, many years ago. I had like the first 12 or something. I don't know. No, I had the first 6 because then I joined the Army. Anyway, this is laser eraser and press button number 1. Twisted Tales number 1. And of course, that's Corbin and what's his name? My brain's not working. I can't think of the guy's name. But there's Twisted Tales number 1. Yeah, Richard Corbin was the co for Joko, and can't think of the other one's name. Bruce Jones and Richard Corbin. Frank McLaughlin, judo master. We've got 2 or 3 of these now. Another Stan Goldberg Betty. There you go. Another George Wilson, Grimm's Ghost Stories. I just, with Charlton, I don't go looking for them. If I get them, if I come across them, I keep them. This is Mel Cranford, Howdy Doody number 10 from 1951. Another Gene Colan, Tomb of Dracula. It's number 52. TV Casper and Company, number 28. Oh, yeah. Dick Dillon's Hawkman, number 26. Next to the last issue. Evangeline, number 1. This is actually done by Ricardo Viagran. Nice cover. Got dinosaurs on it. It's got to be a nice cover. Service, number 88. Yeah, I always like this cover. The look on his face is about the way I feel about snow. Classics Illustrated 68 from 1960. This is the second cover. This is 68-156 from 1960. This is the second cover for Julius Caesar. Some relatively unknown artist did this by the name of L.B. Cole. So that's one you might want to try to pick up, Loston. That, what's not to like? It's L.B. Cole. Or are you talking about that one? Yeah, he was. And by this time, he was actually the art director for Classics Illustrated. And another laser eraser press button. This is number 2, Gary Leach. Oh, okay. Twisted Tales, number 3, by the master, Bernie Wrightson. Well, you're going to have to get a copy of that Julius Caesar cover so that you know, so that you have a better idea how to draw the armor. or somewhere around here, I might have a guide to Roman armor. Judo Master 98. Frank McLaughlin. Archie's Girls, Betty and Veronica, number 170. Dan DiCarlo. One of my favorite Archie artists of all time, Dan DiCarlo. The library. Yeah, Laser Erase and Press Button is just an awesome book. Boris Karloff, Tales of Mystery, number 56. Louis Dominguez cover. Like I said, him and George Wilson, they never did a bad cover that I know of. First name is Harvey. I have no idea what I spelt on the last name. I think I was half asleep when I wrote that. From 1963, Quicks Draw McGraw. Number 5. I'll have to check that out. When you see my hand moving off to the side like that, I'm center clicking the links that Lawson is putting up so I can look at them later. Yeah, I was happy to get this one. This is a nice copy. It's not perfect, but it is a nice copy. We got Tomb of Dracula 53, Gene Colan. And another TV Casper and Company. This is number 32. Herman, the World's Strongest Mouse. Yeah. And finally, I saved the best for last. From 1968, Hawkman 27, Joe Kubert. That is the only issue of Hawkman Joe Kubert did the cover on from the 60s. I want to talk for a few minutes. I'm going to leave it on here, but I'm going to talk for a few minutes about some tools that are used in conservation. And one of them is this. And you see a lot of conservators using this. And what they do is they cut it at an angle so they get a nice sharp point. And, you know, I do that sometimes myself. It's not a big deal. And then they start cleaning a comic book with it. Nice little circles, or some of them go back and forth. I like doing little circles. And then it gets dirty. So they take their knife and they slice off another piece. What is wrong with you people? Just get one of these. Now, I know Loston knows what this is. It's basically a pencil sharpener. And you can just take and rub the eraser off a couple of times and get all that dirt off. And you're not wasting so much of the eraser. I got 9 of these for $10. 9 of them for $10. The one I used to have lasted me about 4 years, and it only had half the pads on it. So that's all you got to do is get that, rub your eraser, and go back to cleaning. Now, I'm not going to clean this whole thing right now, but I imagine there's a few people that would like to know what it is. So let's see what it is. It's Hawkman number 6. I now have 1 through 7. The next one I buy will be number 8. If I can find one. Beautiful color on that. Yeah. But like I said, you've probably used these in the past. Especially since you were in the art school. So I did go to the comic store today. Let's see what I got. Matt likes comics. Let's see. Absolute Flash. Not crazy about this series. I probably need to get the back issues so I can read them. There's the regular cover. I always buy one of the variants. Yeah, it cost me $1 more, but I get 2 covers. Then I got Absolute Green Arrow. This is the one I like the best of the 3 or 4 that they had. There's the regular cover. This one, I haven't decided if I like it or not, but I'm going to keep buying it anyway because it's DC. And Batman, Superman, World's Finest, number 54. What a great cover that is. And I like that cover too. Etrigan as the umpire. Then I like this Batwoman cover a lot. This is Batwoman number 6. Catwoman number 90. Pretty sure that's Frank Cho. And there's the interior. I mean, I had to buy that. If for nothing, no other reason than all the cross hatching work on the costume. And this one made me laugh, so I had to get it. Of course, it has the same interior cover. And this one was just awesome, so I had to buy that. Dark Knights of Steel, a Harley Quinn cover. Yeah, okay, we'll take that. Another really good cover. It's actually a pretty good series so far. It's only had one issue. This is the second issue. Sometimes I just have to get all three because I can't decide which one I like best. Deathstroke, the Terminator. There was like 4 or 5 covers. I got 2 of them, I think. I really like that one. And there's the regular cover. Oh, I forgot to show the regular cover on this, didn't I? Nope, I showed it. And then I got this one because I like that cover too. I don't buy all the covers. I just buy the ones I like. End of Life #7. I like this series so much. Unfortunately, they never have or he never has the extra cover for it. Really like that. It's a good comic. It's a very enjoyable read. And then we got Lobo #6. Lobo versus the Tooth Fairy. And I couldn't pass that one up because that's a cool looking cover. Like I said, when you just can't decide which cover you like best, you get them all. Or at least I do. New Titans. There was several covers on this one. I got 2 of them. Static joins the New Titans. And this just looks so awesome. They had a regular print of this too, and this was the metallic one. And, yeah, I just really like that. And the regular one didn't appeal to me that much, but I saw this and went, oh yeah, I want that one. And that's an awesome Nightwing cover. And so is this one. I almost never buy 2 Nightwings. But both of these covers are just insanely. Yeah, I had to get them. Superman Unlimited. There's the interior cover. Oh, wait. I try to show the interior covers. And of course, had to get this one. It's the same comic, but I'm getting all of these Kingdom of Zod covers. Nice Wonder Woman cover there. And there's the interior. And I liked this one too. Hey, I'll polish it up before I put it into a Mylar. It'll be fine. And then I picked this up. The first two were pretty good. The third one is it was okay. I liked the fourth one, so I bought the fifth one. And of course, had to get this. I'll be right back. I have to get something out of the other room. More comics. Yeah, I mostly buy new. The new comics I buy are mostly DC. I pretty much buy every DC comic that's published because I collect DC comics. Uh, I buy I buy Daredevil because the story's halfway decent, and he's my favorite Marvel character, always has been. And yeah, that's why it's mostly DC. But I really like those new EC books. Now those are published by Oni Press, and yeah, I really enjoy those too. So had to get that. But yeah, that's the reason I buy those. I was going to show all of my PC comics, and we were going to do a checklist, but as it turns out, I am still in the process of uh, pressing them. I've still got a few left to press, so we're going to have to put that off till next week. But I figured I got other comics I can show you. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you another comic. You don't say. You'd like me to show Atlas Seaboard books? You mean like this one? Barbarians, #1, featuring Ironjaw. Blazing Battle Tales, #1, featuring Sergeant Hawk. All of these are very fine to mint condition, somewhere in that area. The Brute, #1. The Brute, #2. The Brute, #3. The Cougar, #1. The Cougar, #2. Demon Hunter, #1. The Destructor, #1. The Destructor, #2. Yep. Destructor, #3. This is one of their long-running titles. Destructor, #4. It went 4 issues. It was one of their longest-running titles. Fright, featuring Son of Dracula. The guy that owns a comic shop I go to got in a bunch of Atlas comics, and I told him, put them all together, they'll sell. He didn't listen to me, and man, the guy spent 3 hours going through his back issue bins, finding every single Atlas comic. And he sold them all at one time, and I told him he would. I said, just bundle them up, put a price on it, and they'll sell. And they weren't very high grade either, but that's how hard they are to find sometimes. Ernie Colon did this. Grim Ghost, #1. Grim Ghost, #2. Grim Ghost, #3. Yeah. There's a lot of underrated artists during that time frame. The Hands of the Dragon, #1. Ironjaw, #1. Neil Adams. Ironjaw, #2. I think that one might be Adams too. I don't remember. Ironjaw, #3. Coming up on another underrated artist, Iron Jaw number 4, Pablo Marcus, another underrated artist of the 70s. Morlock 2001. That that's what made him so good. Morlock 2001, number 1. It's Al Milgrom and Dick Giordano. Morlock 2001, number 2. Morlock 2001, Midnight Men and the Midnight Men. Phoenix, number 1. This reminds me of a what was his name? I've seen a cover similar to this. Magnus Robot Fighter. That reminds me of a Magnus Robot Fighter cover. Not the aliens and stuff, just the figures and the way they're drawn. Phoenix, number 2. Phoenix, number 3. Yeah, that's probably what it is. Phoenix, the Protector, number 4. I like that costume. Why did they have to screw it up? Planet of the Vampires, number 1. This is probably one of their best comics. I think Adams did the inks on that. I think Broderick did the pencils. Planet of Vampires, number 2. And the reason I say that is it says Broderick and Adams. What's up, Roy? Good to see you. Glad you could stop in. Planet of the Vampires, number 2. Planet of the Vampires, number 3. Police Action, Lomax, NYPD, Luke Malone, Manhunter. But the name of the comic was actually Police Action. There's number 1. Police Action, number 2. Police Action number 3. Sergeant Stryker's Death Squad number 1. Well, actually, it's Savage Combat Tales. This is actually the title. All of the rest of it is featuring Savage Combat Tales number 2. Savage Combat Tales number 3. The Scorpion number 1. Who does that character remind you of? Yep. Unfortunately, they couldn't leave him alone. In the next one, they have him with a red shirt. Went from a brown shirt to a red shirt. This is Scorpion number 2. Ernie Colon cover. Yeah. And then they really screwed him over and put him in a costume. Why, I don't know. Number 3. Tales of Evil number 1. Tales of Evil number 2. The Bog Beast. Tales of Evil number 3. Man Monster. Target number 1. I liked this setup. I liked the way it looked. It was just great. And again, they screwed it up. They put him in a costume. John Target, Manstalker. Why couldn't they have left him like that? No, they had to put him in some bullseye costume. John Target's Manstalker, number 3. Tiger Man. This has to be the worst Ernie Colon cover ever, period, ever. I like Ernie Colon's work, but the Tiger Man just looked like crap. That's number 1. Number 2 looks a little tiny bit better. Not much. I mean, it's just a dorky looking character in my opinion. Tiger Man number 3. Oh, we'll get to that. But before we get to that, we have to get to this. Vicky #1. You can't find Vicky comics in high grade, by the way. They don't exist. And if they do exist, it's because I have them. Vicky #2. These are all reprint stories, by the way. All of the Vicky stories were reprints. #3. Hard to find in high grade. Actually, hard to find in any grade. And impossible to find in any grade, #4. These are the ones that most people are missing from their Atlas Comics collection. And finally, we get to Weird Suspense, featuring the Tarantula. Felix, good to see you. Yeah, they're hard to find. I ended up buying a whole collection just to get the Vickies. It's how I ended up with so many high-grade comics. Weird Suspense #2. Weird Suspense #3. Western Action, featuring Kid Cody, Gunfighter, and the Comanche Kid. And introducing the Renegade. Well, they just stuffed them all in there, didn't they? Wolf the Barbarian. This is one of my favorite Atlas covers right here. That's a #1. Wolf the Barbarian #2. Wolf the Barbarian #3. And finally, Wolf the Barbarian #4. There you go. Hey, my PC comics weren't ready, so I showed the Atlas run. And I don't think I'm going to press these. I think I'm just going to make little labels for them and stick them to my collection as they are. They're already all in Mylar. Probably replace the tape on them. Hey, I told you I had them all. Interesting story about that. I decided to help somebody with their collection because they were missing some issues. And so I told them, look, I'll sell you some of mine, but I'm going to sell you my lower grade ones. And he thought I said, I'm going to sell you low grade ones. But I didn't. I said lower grade ones. And so I sent them to him, and he paid for them. I sent them to him. And he's, I thought you said these are lower grade or low grade. These are better than anything in my collection already. I said, yeah, but they're not as good as the ones I kept. helped him out a little bit there. And he's a YouTuber, and my brain just isn't thinking of who he is. But I do know who he is. I just can't think of the name. So yeah, that's the fun stuff. But wait, there's more. I got some other stuff. I just couldn't pass them up. So let's take a look and see what they are. I got Alien Encounters number 5. Number 6. Number 7. I think you guys will like this one. Number 8. Number 9. And number 10. And then I picked up Infinity Inc. number 24. For those of you that think he was all about Marvel and never did anything for DC, Todd McFarlane Interiors. And here's a number 25. It's McFarlane cover. Number 26, also a McFarlane cover. Number 27, McFarlane cover. I paid like $4 a piece for these. Number 28. And number 29. And then I couldn't pass these up because I don't have them anymore. Firestorm 65 and 67. Like I said, I paid like $4 a piece for these. These, I had to pay up a little bit for these, but it was worth it. So yeah, that was the other thing I picked up. I was going to show those on a what did I get, but I changed my mind. Yeah, I think so. Anytime I pick up some comics I don't have, it's worth it. And like I said, if those of you, anyone that's interested, I got a nine pack of these for about $10 off of Amazon. Uh, if I think about it, tomorrow I'll put the link in the description. And these are something else I use a lot of. Little Baker bottles, the mini squeeze bottles. They hold about 4 ounces of liquid, and I buy these at Dollar General, but you can get them anywhere. Uh, like distilled water. I've got one for Betaine soap, which I spelt soup. I've got one methyl cellulose. I've got some other things too. Something like I said at the beginning, one of the things that I've been forgetting to do when I start a project is I forget to take pictures of the before, of the interior, of the things that I need to fix. That's a real bad habit that I have, because how can I know how well the project turned out if I don't have anything to compare it to? So, yeah, I was blown away that they were so cheap. But the guy has a lot of stuff that he didn't want to bother looking it up, so he just lumps them together, like 2 for $8. Oh wait, those were cheaper than that, because there's $8 you got 2 comics, but if you bought 2 packs of them, they were 12. So I paid $3 a piece for those Infinity Ink and the Firestorm. Just even better. But he just whatever he feels like, he prices it, and he's doing all right. I mean, he made it through COVID intact. So some, if it's a if it's a good comic, like he recently got a Werewolf by Night 32. He knew what that was. He knew it was the first appearance of Moon Knight, so he priced that up a little bit. I mean, he knows what the comics are worth, but he just doesn't care. The key issues like that, he knows to pick them out, and he knows to price them a little higher. But then everything else, $2 to $4 a piece. Even some of the stuff that's only a year or two old that he pulled off the back rack, the new comic racks. Sometimes he'll drop those to like $2 or $3 just to get a good sell through. Now, if he can make a whole run, he'll do a run. That's how I got those alien counters. That was a run from 5 to 10. So he just did the whole run, and I had to pay up for a little bit because there's a couple of comics in there that are worth $20 or $30. So yeah, I had to pay up a little bit for those. Yeah, I have those. I have both of those. I have the Superman versus Spider-Man and the Spider-Man versus Superman. They're not that hard to find. I just go in the other room. I've got some that aren't in very good condition, but I've got some that are in really nice shape too. It's like, people say comics are hard to find, and I'll go, no, it isn't. I've got like 20 of them in the next room. And they're going, what? How? Bought them when they came out. Still have them. You know, this is one of the rarest books in the Silver Age, one of the top 10 rarest books of the Silver Age. It's not that rare. I have a copy right there. I had to pay for it, and it's low grade, but still. Yeah, okay. Not just the Vicky #4, the Vicky 1, 2, 3, and 4, all in at least very fine condition. Says the guy with the, oh, where is it? What do I do with it? I had it over here somewhere. I don't know. Yeah, I put something on top of it. Now I don't know where it is. The two of the most patriotic Supermans ever. Oh, and this is considered a rarity. Yeah, I need to do some work on that one too. They did a couple in the '90s that are real patriotic too. Uh, I don't remember which ones, but they did some that are very patriotic for them too. Yeah, well, I have a Lorna signed by Lost and Wallace. Mike Diodato. Actually, have two of these. One of them is in the press right now. It's in pretty bad shape. And then that one, which is in pretty nice shape. Yeah, it's a magazine size. Uh, I've got so much stuff. I don't even know what all I've got. I've got so much. No, it's magazine size. It'll fit in the magazine bag. It's just the way I was holding it. And of course, everybody has to get a copy of this. This is the holy grail of Amanda Connor's collectors because it's her first professional artwork in the second story, which is a Yellow Jacket story. Yep. So that's if you're an Amanda Connor collector, that's a holy grail, and it's going to cost you some money, at least $5-10. Why? Why is that so cheap? Because people don't know about it. That's why. Uh, that happens with a lot of artists. Uh, 3 or 4 years ago, you could get Jim Lee's first pro work for like $3 or $4. Now, not so much. because people discovered it. People found out about it. The same thing with Coyote, with Todd McFarlane's first professional work. People didn't realize that that's what it was. And it was done by Epic. And I picked up a complete set for about $20 back before everybody discovered that had his first pro work in it. I like picking up stuff like that. I don't know what to show you. What else to show? I am wondering what I did with that. I was going to read that comic tonight, and I can't find it. Yeah, I was going to read my Swamp Thing tonight, and I can't find it. That's the way it happens. That's usually what happens. Should have brought that out. Next week, I'll show you an advertisement from 1964 that will blow your. Oh no, I think I already showed it to you. I think I showed it last week. The Mustang ad. It's a box of Archie comics there. Yeah, I don't know what I did with it. I'll find it eventually. Yeah, I've been making a list for this. And my list so far says take before pictures. Examine comic to determine what can be done. Decide what should be done based on my skill level. Possible tape removal, possible dry clean, possible wet clean, possible leaf cast, possible Tengujo repair, maybe deacidification, press, polish, and I'll show how I do that stuff. And make sure I take after pictures. I need before and after pictures of that one. And then I've got some other notes that I'm going to be going by. And we'll get to that right after I finish 4-Color 49, which is coming along nicely. Might have another episode up Friday. Yeah, that's what I'm going to key it to. I want to clean it up a little bit. Maybe do a chair seal on that cover, on the front cover, and then I'm going to press it. Jackson Roy Kirk, good to see you. Yeah, you missed everything. You missed all of the stuff I pressed and all of the comics I bought at the store and the Atlas comics that I hadn't planned on showing tonight, but didn't have my PC comics ready. Yeah. I'm thinking 2 more episodes of that before it's finished. I don't know yet. Depends on how many. I'm doing spot casting on the interior, and I'm not sure if I want to just blaze through all of them and put it back together in one episode or not. Yep. Yeah, I think I'm about done too. I've got a few things I need to do, and we will see you next Wednesday for more Wednesday Night Chaos. Maybe I'll have it a little more chaotic than it was tonight. Take care, everybody. Have yourself a great evening, and don't forget all that YouTube stuff. Do a refresh and make a comment. That'll help me out. So, see you next time. Bye.